Thanks for joining us. This round 11 clash, the end of another amazing 7 days in rugby league. The Penrith Panthers in front of their home fans, and led today out by Gary Freeman, who yesterday was selected in the New Zealand Test side to take on France. Of course, no Brad Fittler and no Matt Singh in that lineup. They're on Origin duty for Wednesday night. And the Gold Coast hoping to match their performance on this very ground last year, the corresponding match. That was a drawn result. One of the Coast's better performances of 1994. Their skipper, another veteran if you like, Craig Coleman, and plenty of experience right across that lineup. The likes of Peter Gill at 5'8", David Woods in the forward pack, and of course coached by John Harvey. And the Seagulls running from right to left. And the other match played between these two sides last year, only a 2-point victory for Penrith. That was up at Seagulls Stadium. First touch of the ball comes the way of Fausa Afoa, one of the biggest forwards out on this field, 15 metres out from his own line. Now working the left side with Matt Adamson. First tackler in there, the Gold Coast. They can put some good football together in patches, just the mistakes seem to cruel them at the worst possible time.
Yes, Andrew, this is a very important game for the Panthers. They've won 2 on the trot now. A chance to get a couple of points closer to the likes of the Sydney Bulldogs, who are at the bottom of the top 8. The ball back now to Matt Adamson, who drives it straight towards Scott Wilson. He takes it on the first bounce. Will make it to the 20-metre mark.
And Wilson, one of the real journeymen in this Gold Coast lineup. Pushed back inside the 20. Some feeling in that tackle. Ryan Girdler was the main tackler there. And now just the other side of the 20 with Patterson. And the crossfield now with it is Campion. Now on the 30-metre line, first penalty of the match goes the way of the Gold Coast. The two offenders, Phil Adamson and Steve Waddell. So a chance for the Gold Coast to find some field position. Getting involved here is Patterson. And up goes Tim Patterson. Well, they stood back and looked there. Tim Patterson now 15 metres out from the line. The Coast on a roll. As hitting it up is Gillard. Just 5 metres out from the line. Brunker gets involved. Off his opposite wing. On the fourth tackle, just 4 metres out from the try line. This is good pressure from the Coast. And they'll get a try too. Well, that's a little easy from the Seagulls. First try for the day and 4 points to nil the scoreline.
Yeah, it's been a very bright start by the Gold Coast. They've had a lot of the football, and Jamie Goddard is the man who skirts out of dummy half, beats a forward with a step, too mobile for the big man, and scores next to the post. But that's been coming because of the constant pressure, and they are very entertaining down this end of the field. Good enterprise there, and Goddard, one of the good young players in the competition, gets his 4th try for the season. And a timely one at that, next to the posts.
22 years of age, Jamie Goddard. Joined the Coast just a couple of years ago, former Mount Isa junior, and also a junior level played for the Queensland under-19s. Exactly the start that the Coast wanted. It's just 7.5 minutes gone and 4-0 the score. So it's Brendan Hurst boasting a 71 success rate with a boot, and this is an easy kick from just 10 metres out, just to the side of the posts, and 4 points become 6. So it's the Gold Coast, the early advantage over the Panthers, 6 points to nil. Simmons a little worried after that start. A few of his defenders not moving off the line.
His eyes opened or closed?
Closed by the end. Adamson with a restart. A big left footer from the Panthers fullback. Campion is back in his own in goal. And back he comes as far as the 10 metres. That's a good kick-off play by the Panthers.
And the Gold Coast will have learnt from that try that the man they should be taking on in defence is Afoa, a very big man, and he's not good on his feet. He doesn't have great mobility or agility. And Jamie Goddard was able to stand him up. You'll find that will be a man targeted by some of the nippier players in this Gold Coast side.
The Coast working the ball out from just outside their own 20. An inspired performance thus far from Dave Woods. That time back up to the 40. Coleman, good quick hands now. Gill Spreading it on the left-hand side, it comes the way of Peacock. Thought of pushing it one pass further for Brunker. Now it comes back for Sloss. And he's tackled 5 metres inside his own half. 5 tackles for the Coast. Coleman again with the duties on the last tackle. Very astute kicker of the football. That's lovely play from Craig Coleman. He's been around since you started playing.
Around a long time, Andrew, and still directing things beautifully. You see both markers there overreading the situation, going for the kicker on the far side. And Coleman just seeing an easy 20 or 30 metres on the blind side to be picked up with the short kick.
So this scrum just outside the 20. Riding instructions coming from Jeffs for this scrum. Duly won by the Panthers. Carter calling Petherbridge into action. His first touch back to the 30. Tackler there was Peacock. Now for Girdler. Then across for Matt Adamson. Big enough, certainly, to play in the forwards. Matt Adamson.
He does get involved, Adamson, from fullback, and very robust runner. We're looking for him to do the kicking duties as well as Jody Gould takes it to the halfway mark. Swinging tackle there from one of the Gold Coast players. It was David Woods. Will play on by the referee as Freeman changes direction.
It was a telegraph switch of play from Freeman, though, as now it's Phil Adamson. He made half a gap. From dummy half, Carter on the last tackle. Again, kicking deep. No problems at all for Scotty Wilson, although there was a slight stumble. Very loose arm from Carter coming through on the tackle. Away goes Patterson to the 12-metre mark. Already the involvement from the 2 Gold Coast wingers has certainly been evident. Here's the other winger, Adrian Brunker. He cops one around the melon from Petherbridge. No damage there, 15 metres out from their own line. Now Campion.
Well, they're mixing their play up well down this end of the field at Gold Coast. As you point out, Andrew, their outside backs getting involved. Then the forwards. Peter Gill has made a couple of charges. This time he runs into a strong tackle from Brett Boyd. The 30 metres now out from their own line on the last. Again, Hurst. It's a wobbly kick away straight to Matt Adamson on the full.
Not the kick they wanted. Adamson, back he comes. And the defence is waiting. First man was Campion with an assist from Peacock. Edwards for Freeman, now for Petherbridge. Starting wide, trying to find a break there around the outside of the lock forward, Gillard. The follow-up hit-up comes from Adamson. Have to support this man, Phil Adamson. This is Freeman, again for Carter. Decoy runner was Gall. The Gold Coast defence covering the width at the moment.
And you have to do that against Steve Carter. He's been very good this year, incisive in attack. As Petherbridge runs out of space. He and Phil Adamson, really the 2 players that could ignite this Penrith side if they're given some space.
Last tackle, the bomb from Freeman. Wilson is there. He's got some defence, but not quite. Adamson came charging through and loses it. Well, almost a spectacular take and try for Adamson.
And a good decision here by the referee. Gary Freeman being penalised for a second tackle. Matt Adamson looked as though he'd taken the balls out of the arms of Scott Wilson. But it popped out. Never took his eyes off it. There he's got it. Ball bounces clear. Craig Coleman cleans up. He's tackled by Adamson. And Gary Freeman comes in to try and force the line drop out, but he's penalised.
Again, it's Adrian Brunker. So far, though, the Coast not making any mistakes at this end of the field. Dave Woods again, just over the 20. Good quick play the ball. Gets a roll on now with Goddard, their try scorer. Now up to the 30. Coleman away for Gill. Having 2 experienced players, crafty players in Gill and Coleman. Great advantage for the Coast. And of course, the same can be said for the Panthers. This is 5 tackles for the Coast. They've done well. They're up to 45 metres out. Hurst with a kick. This time a better directed kick from Hurst. In fact, it's a perfect kick. So some good sets of 6 being put together by the Seagulls. And this scrum to pack down just outside the Panthers' 20.
It looks a simple game, doesn't it, when things are done well? No mistakes. Still prepared to throw some passes in their own territory, the Gold Coast, and then a nice kick away at the end. Petherbridge notably staying up, not dropping back at all on the last tackle. There is some easy yards to be found.
To say it seems just a little uncertain, the start of the Panthers, particularly in attack. Just not the fluency there as yet. They're down by 6 points to 0. Freeman now away for Girdler. Girdler went 4 steps forward, then sideways, and then straightened up again. 10 inside his own half. Good hands there from Gall. The pass wasn't good. Gall through. Lovely ball off the deck from Gall. The Panthers continue to head downfield with Beckett. And now 42 metres out from the line. Beckett comes now for Freeman. Then Afoa. Little step from Afoa. Off the left foot. They tell me he was 130 kilos when he arrived at the Panthers at the end of last year. Now down to 112 as it came across for Adamson. Just outside the 20. It's last tackle. Quick play the ball from Adamson. Away goes Carter. Then for Petherbridge. Right foot step back in field. And that's a very good try on the last tackle. Very much the Panthers catching the Seagulls napping. Great vision there by Steve Carter. Got into dummy half. Took advantage of some ordinary sloppy marker defence. And skirted down the blind side. You can see only one marker. Drew the winger. Pass to Scott Petherbridge. Comes inside. He actually nearly puts the football down on the foot of one of the Gold Coast players. It would have been a bizarre way to have a no try scored, or no try awarded. Good over-the-top pass there from Steve Carter. Petherbridge comes in. Now watch when he puts the football down. It's on the foot of one of the Gold Coast players, but then does find some earth. Scott Petherbridge, what a thrill playing first-grade football. He's still only 17 and playing in the Winfield Cup. And in fact, made his first appearance in the top grade, I think the very last match of last year for the Panthers. Just a sniff then. He's converted this year. Now Ryan Girdler, I think by his own admission, he can be a dodgy conveyance as a goal kicker. Not a flash record, but he is their first choice, and he's a player who's struggled with injuries over recent seasons. This kick from 7 metres in from touch. Just outside the 20. Still conditions, no breeze to worry about, and that's a great first kick to start the day from Girdler. So we're all level. It's the Seagulls and the Panthers locked up at 6-all. Yes, and as soon as you call him a dodgy conveyance, the odds firmed about it going over. Some great lead-up work there from Jody Gall. Made a good charge. Did a great job to catch the ball in the first place, then offloaded. Adrian Brunker it is with a restart for the Seagulls. Tapped on the boot there of McNamara. I'm surprised heading into this match to just see the first grade experience McNamara has had. It's already up over 60 first grade games. Ayusa Afoa tackle just outside his own 30. Blindside now for Waddell. And that time able to slow up the play the ball. McGrady the man over the top. Freeman for Gall. Now 5 metres inside his own half. Campion again was around the legs for the Seagulls. This is Adamson. Support not quite there for Phil Adamson. Morven Edwards arrived late. Last tackle, Adamson. Matt Adamson it is, with a left boot. The younger of the Adamson brothers. This time Wilson had just that little extra time to take that ball unchallenged. It's probably not a bad idea for the Penrith support to arrive a little bit late with Phil Adamson taking the ball up. He does like to hit, take the tacklers on, and then once they are committed to get rid of that ball, I think you'll find that that will be the case with the Panthers. They'll be looking for the late pass more than him taking it to the line and passing beforehand. Panthers found inside the 10 metres. That's a penalty that the Gold Coast needed. Certainly helps. Tell you what, it's a big 10 too. It's all of the 10 metres. So the Coast to launch this attack. 35 metres out from the Panthers line at 6-all. Coleman for Brunker. Infield he comes. Nice front-on defence from Steve Waddell. This is Goddard a dummy half. Coleman. Dave Woods again. Hit over the top. Crunching tackle. I think it was Adamson who basically knocked the ball out of the grasp of Woods, and he's in a bit of trouble, big Dave Woods. Goddard. Now Brendan Hurst, just inside the 20. Comes across for Coleman. He thought about pushing it longer, then lovely short ball for Campion. 10 metres out from the line. Again, the quick play the ball, and it's Goddard again. And Goddard has got over the line for his second try, and almost in identical circumstances to the first, to quick play the ball.
Yeah, some lovely stuff there from the Gold Coast. Craig Coleman, a beautiful short ball, was well read by Jody Gall, but he got into marker. Jamie Goddard flew out. Really, the Penrith defence didn't have time to come up off the line. Morven Edwards went for the big ball and all tackle and missed. And Goddard gets his second. He's a fine young prospect. Very strong effort here. He's not held. Every right to roll over, and the ball is grounded.
Second kick for the day for Brendan Hurst. It's not a big career tally as far as goals are concerned. Just outside the 20. But he's in fine form today, Brendan Hurst. And the Gold Coast again take that 6-point advantage. The Gold Coast 12, Penrith 6. Now with McNamara. Good offload again from this back rower through Freeman for Carter. The step off the left. Then the offload. The support from Girdler. He's fine. Back for Beckett. Beckett puts the pace on. Tackled 15 metres out from the line. 5 tackles. Wilson scrambling to get back in possession. Freeman is cleaned up. Poleaxed in the tackle by a man offside.
Well, the Coast are inside the 10, but Gary Freeman got smashed. And unfortunately for the Gold Coast, it was on the last. A very good tackle there. I think it was Peter Gill coming in. Now Gary Freeman just settling things down, motioning towards the post that they're going to take the 2 points from the penalty kick.
I just wonder whether Gill was the man offside in that play. He'd be dirty on his teammates.
Well, they'd done some good scrambling because there was some tremendous work involving Beckett and Carter. Now he's come from marker, so he's onside, and that's a pretty tough call.
An early change in the Panthers lineup. Barry Walker on for a foa. Barry Walker, one of the more experienced players in the Panthers club, in his 9th year with the club, as a matter of fact. So it's Girdler from a wide angle. It's only 10 metres in from touch. You can see what is the job here for Girdler. The gap at the moment 6 points. This to bring it back to 4. At least he'll be hoping to kick it dead. I tell you what, the 2 goal kickers are in form, if nothing else. And the Gold Coast lead the Panthers. Good contest, 12 points to 8.
Yes, very dusty conveyance is Ryan Girdler with the goal kick.
Oh. Did I say that?
Oh. He heard you say it.
He's a champion fella.
He's a great player, Ryan Girdler, and as I say, the calibre of the goal kicking this afternoon so far has been tremendous.
Back underway now with the Gold Coast. Craig Coleman having plenty to say between the goal and the restart in play. 2 great talkers out on the field, and the 2 number 7s, Coleman and Freeman. It's the Panthers from back inside their own 20. Again, Matt Adamson leaving his mark on this match. Campion was the tackler. Just on Kevin Campion, he's already taken his tackle count up to 15.
Then a replacement made by the Penrith side. Barry Walker is out there as Phil Adamson takes it over the halfway line. Gets a good ball away to Morven Edwards. Turned to find Brett Boyd, couldn't throw the pass. Gary Freeman now on the last again. They're very dangerous. Throws the dummy.
Gill fell for it. Now for Petherbridge back in field. He's trying to find one extra man, and there were 3 Coast players there to clean up. And Jeremy Sloss eventually came up with a ball. I think we'll have a blood bin case here, will we, with Jeff's calling a player out. And it is, in fact, Kevin Campion who'll be headed for the blood bin. This is a lovely pass from Phil Adamson. He does it time and time again. in the ensuing attack. Gary Freeman prepared to take it right up for the line. Well, he left Peter Gill standing behind.
You'll find his winger will be down there first.
Quick hands from inside their own 20. Girdler for Beckett, one of the fastest players in the competition. Have a look at Robbie Beckett run. Back in field he comes, tackled 35 metres out from the coastline.
And Jamie Goddard, the hooker, has made the tackle on Robbie Beckett as the Panthers go wide through Walker.
Walker turns Edwards inside, back for Gall on the 30. Lovely hands from Edwards inside the 20 now for the Panthers. The best attacking rate of the match coming from the Penrith side. It started from inside their own 20. Freeman, it's a ragged low defensive line from 10 metres out. Inside it came for McNamara. The Panthers still on the attack. The tackle count has restarted. They almost only need one to score. They are 1 metre out from the try line. Boyd, then for Adamson. He charges over. That is easy for the Panthers' second rower. 12 all to score.
He started to play Matt Adamson with a good ball. Phil Adamson at the far end of the field, putting Ryan Girdler into space. Prepared to throw the football on their own line. That's a good ball. And what about Robbie Beckett? He is a flying machine. Tremendous effort here from Jamie Goddard, the hooker. He came up with the tackle. And then a couple of plays later, in fact, if the play hadn't have restarted, it would have been a handover. So that was very fortunate for the Panthers. And Big Phil Adamson, unstoppable from 3 metres out.
Plenty of time taken with the kick for Ryan Girdler, former Illawarra Steeler. It's 15 metres out, no angle at all. Thankfully, he adds the extras. So 14 points to 12, the Panthers over the coast.
There's still no smile from Roy Simmons, happy with the scoreline, but not the performance. It looked like they'd hung on well here, the Gold Coast. This is the last tackle. Ball back inside. Referee ruling that it was touched as Gary Freeman passed the football, I believe. That's Ryan Girdler, almost scoring himself. So it was good eyes from the referee, because there must have been the faintest of touches as Freeman kept the ball alive.
So at 14 points to 12, the Panthers looking for their 4th win at home this season. They've lost a couple here this year in 95 as that comes Walker over the 20. Boyd away for Gall. Gets it up to the 30. Tough job to get him to ground. What's the ruling here from Jess? Searle's hands in there, is it? Left hand over the top. So one last attack for the half of football inside the final 60 seconds. Back then for Boyd, blindside Carter. Then for Girdler. Good first half from Ryan Girdler, 33 metres out from the Gold Coast line. It would be a cruel old try for the Gold Coast if Penrith do in fact score. They're certainly in the right position. Now inside the 30, Alexander plays it for Boyd. 2 passes wide of the rack, it went to Adamson. From inside the 20, final 30 seconds of the half now, Freeman. Freeman with a dummy again, gets the around the corner pass to Carter. And Jeffs rules the knock on, it was a near thing.
Yes, looking for the big play here. The dummy, ball. All picked up by Steve Carter, but has gone forward. That should be it for the half.
So first half of football, and a very entertaining one, as was the case on Friday night. The scoreline, though, a little closer. It's Penrith leading the Gold Coast, 14 points to 12. We'll take a break and be back with more. Welcome back to Penrith Football Stadium. Second half of football, the Panthers with that 2-point advantage. 4 tries scored in the first half. The kicking boot of Ryan Girdler, 3 from 3. As the Panthers in front. And the Coast from left to right. Brunker tackle just short of his own 20. Kevin Campion. Just a very loose arm went over the top there from Carl McNamara. This is Dave Woods. Topped the hit-ups in the first half, Dave Woods. 12 hit-ups. Coupled with a few handling errors, though, was Coleman. The switch there from the Gold Coast. Wilson was coming through off the hip.
They've tried that play a couple of times and it's been reasonably successful. From the fact that chasers or their support players really haven't timed their runs particularly well. Play the Canberra Raiders used very effectively. As that kick finds touch 30 metres out from the Panthers line, scrum to be set.
So they've had great success with their line kicks today. Penrith with a feed from 30 metres out. Adamson. Well, the tactics now for this half, as far as the coast is concerned, is to kick for that eastern touchline. Edwards. Tackled 5 metres inside his own half. The coast down to 12 as Boyd tried to spin away there from the tackle of Hurst. Player left behind is Gillard. Panthers with Girdler. Then for Freeman. Across for Alexander. Grassing tackle there from Gill. Not held was Alexander. Carter, Freeman. Then again he runs up to the line. Walker trapped in possession. 5 tackles. 25 metres out from the Gold Coast line. This is Freeman. They're going to try their luck again with a high ball. Wilson having to make a little run to get to it. It comes loose into the hands of Girdler, and it's a very soft drive for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a good chase from the Panthers there. Put a lot of pressure on Scott Wilson, who didn't receive a great deal of support from his players. And Girdler just picking the ball up. Adamson just onside. He goes up, I think, with Steve Waddell. They fly high. It's a fair contest. And a lack of support for the Gold Coast sees Ryan Girdler with a simple task to put the ball over the line. Little kick in over the top. It's a lottery. And there, in fact, it's Steve Carter, not Waddell. Apologise to Steve Carter mixing him up. Ryan Girdler gets his 5th for the season, his 24th career.
Again, Girdler from close range, adding to his reputation as a goal kicker today. And this 13 metres out, and for that handy 8-point break, perhaps the Penrith Panthers to go on from here. It is an 8-point lead, and it's Penrith over the Gold Coast, 20 points to 12. On this scrum, McGrady's into 5/8. He's the man with the ball. Up to halfway he goes.
They don't really use their backline a great deal, do they, the Gold Coast side? Up the middle here is a pretty good run from Craig Spark, but we never see the ball go from half to 5/8 through the centres out to the wing.
Peter Gill spins around. Interesting play from the 5/8. He's looking for a runner. Just a shade late was Peacock. Coleman wanting the play on the blind side. He's with the ball now, Coleman. In the end, there wasn't much doing at all. And a knock on both ways.
As Adrian Brunker put under a fair bit of pressure there by the Craig Coleman pass. Wasn't a great deal on that short blind. A lot of defence there to meet Brunker. He lost the ball cold. A good decision from the referee.
The try after half-time appears to have deflated the spirit somewhat at the Gold Coast. And Penrith, no change there. Morven Edwards over the 30. Some numbers here on the left-hand side. Carter up to the line then for Girdler. Girdler with a half gap. Gets it inside the Seagulls half. Adamson slips into dummy half. He'll set sail for another 10, Adamson. That 12 or 13 metres made by the fullback. This is Boyd. Now Freeman. On his outside was Walker, and Freeman cops a heavy tackle from Campion, who leads the count for the Gold Coast. This is Boyd. Then again for McNamara and Adamson. Adamson trying to do that reverse pass out of the left hand. Carter on the last. Well, what about the confidence of Scott Wilson after the last bomb? He goes high and loses it again. It's play on for the Panthers. Will they in fact need the full set of 6? Gall, then for Edwards. And ridden into the ground there by Brunker, but that is the first of 6. Petherbridge, 5 metres out from the line. And Penrith has come up with a drop ball, and that is a sin bin offence for the Gold Coast. So they'll be down to 12, and the player is Hurst.
And that may be reason enough for Penrith to take the tap here. Looks like David Woods has gone. Brett Boyd, instead of taking the kick for goal, will now take the quick tap. They've got a line set to the left. Freeman, the first man.
Dave Woods, the man in the sin bin. This is Adamson, tackled 5 metres out from the line by Spark. Chance now for Carter, straight out of dummy half, held up. And has he got the ball down? Only centimetres short of the line. Then it comes away for Freeman. Freeman for Walker, spins out of 2. Barry Walker, right on the Gold Coast try line.
Numbers to the right, surely.
20 points to 12 the score as it comes away for Gore and he crashes over. 20 to 12 becomes 24 to 12 and the Panthers now into overdrive.
And too much to do there for the Gold Coast. The weight of possession and the weight of numbers. Good pass from Gary Freeman. Scott Petherbridge almost going through himself. That was the penalty awarded. David Woods ruled to have been the man offending. And this time Gary Freeman with a hard-running Jody Gall. Line coming up in staggered fashion from the Gold Coast. Peter Gill not up as quickly as the first man in defence, which was Jamie Goddard. That created the hole. Jody Gall went through.
Panthers with a 12-point advantage. The Girdler in search of 5 from 5. And again, the dodgy conveyance gets another 2. And Penrith lead the Gold Coast by 26 points to 12.
Some ground made there again by Jamie Goddard in the middle of the ruck. Craig Coleman now looking to capitalise on the quick play of the ball.
And away for Gill. Down to 12 men. The short ball for Peacock. Adamson is the cover. Peacock can go all the way to the corner and will. Danny Peacock. Well, Adamson stood back, caught in 2 minds, and that's just about the try of the day.
I think he underestimated the speed of Danny Peacock. Pointed out earlier that the Gold Coast really don't go to their back line a great deal, but here we see the half and the 5A combining. Beautiful pass there from Peter Gill, opened the gap. Danny Peacock looking to position his inside support player. Matthew Adamson was more concerned with what Scott Petherbridge was going to do, and the bird had flown. Lovely ball there committed, Morven Edwards. Scott Petherbridge turned and chased. Peacock looking for his support players through the half dummy and had enough speed to get around Adamson to get his side back into the contest.
So we've seen 7 attempts at goal so far in this match for 7 successes. Hurst has this attempt right from the sideline. He drove it hard and wide. The Coast still in it. They are down to 12 just at the moment, but Penrith leading by 26 points to 16.
Peter Gill finds Craig Coleman on the short side, the little one over the top into space.
Peacock's the man coming through again. Well, this could be a magic 90 seconds for Danny Peacock. What about that, Danny Peacock? Magic stuff.
Oh, tremendous effort there from Peacock to get his second. Matthew Adamson in 2 minds here. The little chip over the top from Craig Coleman. Adamson was wheeling the ball over the sideline. It didn't get there, and Peacock put it on the boot. There it is over the top. Adamson had a play on it, let it go, and Danny Peacock gets the bounce. Petherbridge again closing from behind, but too late. And 2 tries in 3 minutes. The Coast are back in this. See how close this was to going over the sideline.
It came off his knee.
He really had to have a go at that, the Penrith fullback. And Peacock gets his second in a short period of time. With the kick to come, we've got a game again.
And this very much an important kick, this one. Brendan Hurst, he's only missed 1. He's now missed 2. Well, this is the position they set up the last try from. 35 metres out from their own line. Coleman, though, this time with a kick away. It's headed straight for Adamson. And Adamson, it's a round of applause for the take. Tackled there by Jamie Goddard. Freeman. Petherbridge. Taking it up close to halfway. All of a sudden, a field goal, as far as the Panthers are concerned, becomes... It would certainly be a valuable commodity to this team.
It would be a good tactic to be able to put themselves in a position where the opposition have to score twice to get in front. It's 4 tackles, and they've made good ground here with McNamara finding Barry Walker.
Well, they won't get a better position to kick a field goal from. Only 15 metres out, but at the moment they're thinking try. It's Freeman. Then for Gall. Gall taken back for Freeman. Then the grubber. Wilson under pressure. And this time comes up with the answer, but forced in goal.
Oh, tremendous work here from Gary Freeman. Scott Wilson, a difficult task to clean up that bouncing ball. Somehow Freeman has got him back into the in-goal area. The pass to Jody Gall found nothing on out wide. The little kick on the last. Wilson cleans up and is rolled over, and the ball finishes in the in-goal area.
Scott Wilson in a bit of trouble after that incident. Struggling to get the feeling back in the left hand. And Penrith will come straight back on the attack to Alexander. This is 29 metres out from the Gold Coast line. First of 6. Now for Gall. Lovely step from the lock forward. Jody Gall goes all the way to the corner. One missed tackle, and that leads to one try, and possibly the match winner.
And I think you'll find that the man who misses the tackle has been the Gold Coast best defender in this match, Peter Gill. Jody Gall, big right foot sidestep there, beat Gill, all ends up. Ordinary work on the inside there from Jeremy Schloss, who hadn't covered on the inside, didn't come across. And Jody Gall gets the try. They had a little bit of luck in the first half before the Phil Adamson try, where they got 6 again. It's also worked out that way with Scott Wilson being taken into the in-goal area. And a good break there. Did it all by himself, Jody Gall. He's had a fine match this afternoon, done plenty of work.
From that head-on replay, you can see Peter Gill in the background after missing that tackle. He knew the consequences. And hands up to the head.
Well, I really do have to blame Jeremy Schloss just as much. One thing you've got to do is go up together in defence at this end of the field, but you've also got to cover across on the inside if the play is going towards the sideline. Second row did not do that, and when the step was put in, there was a big gap.
Well, we're seeing plenty of Ryan Girdler in the goal-kicking stakes. 5 from 5. 5 in from touch. Kicked them from all angles so far in this match. Again, you see the angle, and again Girdler. He's kicking a treat. It's like a racehorse like this dodgy conveyance. He's now won 6 from 6 starts. 32 points to 20. The Panthers over the coast.
I wish you'd call me an ordinary golfer or putter or something, gambler, whatever. Call me ordinary something, Andrew. Doesn't look like missing one.
Oh dear. So from halfway. Again, another body blow to the confidence of the coast. We're now told the stats on Ryan Girdler. Shares in Ryan Girdler goal kicking are up by 5 points. 5% increase today. And this is the Panthers 30. They're attacking from Freeman. Away to Walker. This has been good in the game. Penrith, after I mentioned an uncertain start in the attacking department, they've certainly picked up. And with players like Freeman and Carter, it's no surprise, as here's McNamara. 5 out from the Gold Coast line. It's last tackle. Matt Adamson with the ball. No surprise to see the high ball again. This time Coleman. He stands his ground. That's a remarkable take from Craig Coleman. He never left the ground.
He gets that one by default. He actually stayed down in the shadows underneath Steve Carter and Matt Adamson and came up with the football. He was in the land of the Giants there for a while. Oh, he can't claim that one.
Let the bloke climb the tree for the coconuts. You just wait down there and catch him. So they're 10 metres inside their own half, Gold Coast. Goddard for Coleman, then Gill, now McGrady. Hasn't really seen any open space, this player. In fact, he's in the starting lineup for the first time today. His debut was off the bench in the last match. Now Hurst. 3 men there. Driving tackle from the Panthers. They're on their own 40. 32 points to 20 the score in favour of the home team, and this is Matt Adamson from his own 20. Well, he can outpace Peter Gill, I reckon. Maybe not. Gill gets him.
Ryan Girdler throwing in a sidestep, taking it outside the 30-metre mark. Now Steve Waddell, another good charge. See, the Panthers really have grown in confidence from the Jody Call try. Ryan Girdler, his second touch and 3 tackles. Could have found Robbie Beckett.
He can't kick, can he? Here's Boyd for Freeman. Then across the cutout ball to Gall. Again, that right foot step from Jody Gall. And this is 35 out from the Gold Coast line. Freeman again runs it all the way up. Then gives Petherbridge a passage for the corner. Back to Edwards. Oh, this is grand football from the Panthers. Great football for another try. And that scoreline blows right out.
And I think you'll find the unfortunate man again is Peter Gill. Some tremendous attack on the last tackle. They've had a lot of success there. Scott Petherbridge, the big step inside was too good for Adrian Brunker. Stepped out of the tackle of Peter Gill. It was pretty tough for him. And Morven Edwards, a simple job to beat Scott Wilson. But there you'll see 3 very good efforts. Firstly, this break from Scott Petherbridge. Big step inside Brunker. The ball back inside. Edwards straightens up. Tremendous vision there from Gary Freeman to realise there was a chance on the blind side.
Morven Edwards enjoying a great first year for the Panthers. It was a few years back now that he had a very, very good test series for New Zealand. Had a lean year last year for the Tigers. Well, I'm afraid to say anything with this shot at goal. You can see what is there for Ryan Girdler. I'll just tell you it's 10 metres in from touch. 64%.
Matthew Ridge.
Oh, all of them. Halligan, Ridge, Taylor. This is Girdler. He's missed it. The moment the wraps got too heavy. 36 points to 20, though. The Panthers right in the driver's seat.
The last tackle has been good for the Panthers. They've scored a couple of tries this afternoon through running the football. Good one-handed take there from Morven Edwards as well. Just off a good movement.
Brunker knows this play off by heart. Down it goes for Freeman. And now Adamson.
There's Phil Adamson out there replacing Carl McNamara, who received a generous round of applause from the Penrith crowd. Good strong effort. Along with Steve Waddell, who's been very good in the last another 10 minutes, taking the ball forward. Brett Boyd now finding some space in around the marker area. Shows the football, but is tackled.
They're really carrying out the job here, the Panthers. The score could be anything come full time. As Alexander tackled 5 metres inside the Gold Coast half. Boyd at dummy half. Freeman. This time cuts out Carter for Adamson again, looking to put the pass out behind. It's a good tackle in the end from McGrady. Freeman. High ball for Wilson. Thanks a lot, says Scott Wilson. Well, Wilson that time just stood back and watched. Was his confidence shot altogether, or he just took a punt?
Well, I think they've got to play at the ball. Phil Adamson in some trouble back there. He actually landed on the football as he was trying to get it into an area that he could pass. Peter Gill, the short ball here to Adrian Brunker. Good strong defence. You can see gingerly back into the defensive line goes Phil Adamson.
This is Patterson just inside the Panthers half now. Plenty of tries, 10 in all so far in the match, 6 tries to 4. Kill for another magic 3 minutes from Danny Peacock. The Sloss, straight through he goes. Tackle 35 metres out from the Panthers line. Last tackle for the Gold Coast. This is Coleman. It came off the boot of Waddell and goes into touch. So it has to be a Gold Coast feed.
Craig Coleman keep trying to get the grubber through. Steve Waddell actually played at the ball. It will be a coast feed. Will they go through the back line? McGrady into 5'8" once again.
Coleman. Here comes McGrady. Searching for that gap between 5'8". He's tackled 20 metres out from the Panthers line. The Coast, they're not about to give up. Coleman away for Gill. Gill skirting wide. Drew in Girdler, then draws in the support in Patterson. And Patterson tackled just inside the Panthers 20. Goddard, 2 tries next to his name. Then for Hurst. Tackled 10 metres out, right in front of the Panthers sticks. Goddard again. Coleman wants it right side. Then for Peter Gill. Ball and all, they try to take him. And they get Peter Gill to ground. The Coast will continue to work at right side. Goddard through an ordinary pass to Patterson. And Patterson can do no more than go into touch.
It's frustration there for the Gold Coast, trying to conjure something out of nothing. The long pass was never on from Jamie Goddard. Beckett, a simple shot on Patterson to put him into touch.
Right on the 10-metre line. Another change in the Panthers forward pack. Fayusa Afoa back on for Dave Alexander. As Freeman tackled just 15 out from his own line. This is Matt Adamson. A little stumble to start with, then goes into top gear. And Adamson might just about go 80 metres to score. Wilson can't get to him, or can he? Diving attempt, he won't get him. Matt Adamson. Oh, solo try. Started all the way back, in fact, from inside his own 10. Matt Adamson, great try. 40 points to 20.
It's been a mixed afternoon for Matt Adamson, but he'll enjoy that one because he'll be disappointed in his efforts in the 2 Danny Peacock tries. He stands up Peter Gill here, finds a gap straight through. Scott Wilson, I thought, would have the speed to catch, but in the end was forced to make a diving attempt. And the strong leg drive from Matt Adamson kept him going to bring up the 40 points for his side. And we've seen some very good tries this afternoon, plenty of them, unfortunately, for both teams, but some good long-range efforts.
Well, I've got Girdler home with a kicking. I tell you what, you've done some damage to Peter Gill's defence. You gave him a few raps. He's missed 3 in a row for 3 tries.
Well, he's still going up, and he's not getting a lot of support. But he did miss a pretty simple one there, and there you can see the joy on Adamson's face. Pretty happy with that one. So too Scott Petherbridge.
The Panthers set to take their season tally up to 10 competition points. And now 4 wins at home. Still sights set on a top 8 placing for the Panthers in 1995. Well, 6 from 7 it is for Ryan Girdler, and he's had plenty of kicks from this right side of the field. So he's getting well trained at the angle. Still taking plenty of time with them. And Girdler it is from the 20. Back on target, Ryan Girdler. Now they're headed for 50. It's Penrith 42, the Gold Coast 20.
Leading the field for the Panthers, number 13, Jody Gould.
Gold Coast, what started so promising is now a very unhappy day for them. And the Panthers from inside their own 20, Afoa. In fact, tackled right on the 20. Craig Spark, the 27 there with Campion. Also Hurst.
And Jeremy Schloss is off for the Gold Coast, replaced by Jim Lenihan, as Afoa beats one tackle, looks to offload, can't do so. He's tackled 39 out from his own line. Gary Freeman again looking on the blind side to create.
Inside now for Adamson, and again he's able to offload. He just hates to die with a football. Freeman slows it up, then through, was it a forward pass then? Sort of line ball. Edwards was the man. who took the pass. Walker relishing the open space right through the centre of the ruck. Boyd at dummy half for Adamson. Now the grubber kick. This time the pressure comes the way of Patterson, and Patterson does well from inside his own 10. Now back to the 20, Tim Patterson. The change in that Panthers lineup has Farrer out there, I think in 22 it is. So 2 hookers on the field now for Penrith. And the Coast 35 metres out from their own line. Oomph in that tackle from Afoa. Front on. 8 on 8. Onside Coleman. Held it up for McGrady. Sends him on his way. Back it comes for Peacock. On the outside. Overhead ball. They go to Peacock. He'll have a third try, Denny Peacock. This is superb play from the Gold Coast. What about this for a match of football?
Well, Peacock's got his third try. He'll be on a losing side, but he scored some of the best tries you've ever seen, and this one is as good as any try we've seen this season. Down the blind side, a beautiful pass from Craig Coleman to McGrady. He throws the ball back inside to Peacock. Little one on the outside to Peter Gill. That's gone over the top to Peacock. He bamboozles the defence of the Penrith team. Adamson trying to push him into touch. But a tremendous try. Unfortunately, they still trail by plenty. But still prepared to throw the football around. Peacock touching the ball a couple of times. Gill, the little one over the top, changes direction. That was the key to the try being scored. Adamson can't put him over the sideline. And number 3 for Peacock in a beaten side.
Denny Peacock, a villain last round against the Tigers, where he knows bombed at least 2 tries and only went down by 2 points. And today, second half, it's been a golden half of football for the number 3, Denny Peacock. And Brendan Hurst again. The sun here at Penrith Football Stadium. Kick is short and a touch wide. So that scoreline, 42-24.
Distinct lack of defence, 66 points scored in a game. You don't mind sitting back watching these kind of tries being scored. Peacock, a great evasion. Beautiful ball thrown from Craig Coleman to initiate proceedings.
Adamson driving that kickoff. So Broncos had plenty of practice, so too the Panthers. That try tally now up to 12 for the match. 42-24. The way the match has gone, we may still see another one. Bronco who'll play it outside the 20.
That's the problem, Andrew, for the Gold Coast. 24 points should be enough to win any game of football. As a cutout pass from Coleman is a good one.
Hurst was out on the flank.
And Peacock keeps it in the field of play, but it will go over the sideline.
Well, you've got to try anything at this stage. And it almost came off for the Gold Coast, but what the heck was Brendan Hurst doing down the left wing? He did well with the pass back inside. Peacock had no option but to try the overhead ball. McGrady, the player who carried it over the sideline. Which coming from the Gold Coast as the Panthers to launch another attack. Girdler it is. His defence there from Scotty Wilson. Beckett. Wilson trying to come up with a double. Comes up with a right leg of Beckett. Boyd again. Freeman. Adamson. In the tackle there. I like Brett Boyd. He's not giving Denny Farrer a chance to get into dummy half. They give the reserve grade hooker a chance to shine as Carter got the ball from Afoa. This could be try 13. No, Carter taken down by Wilson. They keep it going though. The Panthers. Farrer. Crossfield he goes. Overhead to Beckett. Beckett then for Girdler. Girdler shoulders away from one. 13 may be unlucky for some. Not so today. That is try 13. And the Panthers have their 8.
We now have 70 points scored in a game of football. Ryan Girdler is able to get the ball down. He's got a swag of points this afternoon. Danny Farrell looking to somebody to run into a hole. In the end, throws it over his head. Finds Robbie Beckett. He goes back in field before giving it the reverse pass to Ryan Girdler. And Ricky McGrady comes up with an extremely poor miss to allow Girdler to get across the line. Here's Beckett. Change his direction there from Girdler and through McGrady to score. And we'll work out how many points he scored shortly, but he's kicked plenty of goals and gets his second try.
Pretty sure that Girdler now is going up to a record for the Panthers. Most number of points scored in one match. I had a feeling Graham Mackay equaled the record something like 24, 26 points, but Girdler at the moment stands on 22 points. 2 tries and 7 goals. And in fact, 24 is the record. So this to equal it for Ryan Girdler. Piece of history today for the Panthers. By rights, he should go and miss this kick. It's 7 from 8, 15 out. Not today, he won't. 24 points for Ryan Girdler, and that completes quite an amazing game of football. 48 points to 24. Good luck if you've got footy tap. The Panthers and the Coast treating the crowd to 13 tries, but Penrith very much deserving winners.